Invite a Budget Blinds style consultant to show you how to transform your rooms just by changing your window coverings. Canada's #1 choice for window coverings. Visit budgetblinds.ca today.
This is Newcap News with Nerman Isaac.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. We have now learned the identity of the pilot who died while battling fires near Cold Lake. William Alexander Garvey Hiltz from Cranbrook, BC, was killed when his water bomber he was flying went down inside the Cold Lake Air Weapons Range on Friday. Now, the 38-year-old's body was recovered from his plane yesterday. He was fighting the wildfire in the Cold Lake Air Weapons Range at the time of the crash, as mentioned. Now, that fire covers an area of more than 17,000 hectares. More than 200 staff and firefighters, helicopters, and heavy equipment are working on this blaze around the clock. Now, an update on the situation is expected around 9 p.m. tonight, unless conditions change. Over in Saskatchewan, the people who protect the province's forests are bracing for short, dry thunderstorms that could spark more wildfires. Weekend storms brought a small amount of precipitation to the province, but 2 new fires started because of lightning. Now, there have been 224 fires so far this year. That's 100 more compared to the same time last year. The biggest blaze that's still raging covers about 20 square kilometers northwest of Loloc and Garson. Total fire ban has been implemented in the RMs of Wilton and Britannia as well. Well, RCMP say alcohol and speed were believed to be factors in a single vehicle rollover near Maidstone that claimed the life of a Lloydminster man. Just after 8 o'clock last night, emergency crews were called out to a road about 3 kilometers east of the community near Birch Lake. Police say a 23-year-old Lloydminster man was pronounced dead at the scene. The passenger, a 22-year-old also from Lloydminster, was transported by Stars Air Ambulance to Saskatoon. He is in stable condition. RCMP are reminding people to not drink and drive. A 25-year-old Meadow Lake man had to be airlifted to a hospital in Saskatoon after he crashed his ATV into a farmer's fence yesterday evening. Police say the incident happened at the St. Cyr Recreational Park, where the man sustained serious upper body injuries. RCMP continue to investigate. Well, prayer at Lloydminster City Council meetings may soon be a thing of the past. This as Council has agreed to amend the procedure bylaw, officially replacing the prayer with a silent moment of personal reflection. A temporary moment of silence was originally implemented by Council last month while they debated the issue. Now, the decision comes after the Supreme Court of Canada ruled a small Quebec city could no longer open meetings with prayer. As a lawyer herself, Councillor Linnea Goodhand says the change could protect the city when it comes to possible future litigation.
That was my reading on this, of the Supreme Court of Canada decision. If one continues to pray in council, in the face of that decision, you expose yourself to risk.
Before coming to their conclusion, Mayor Rob Saunders says administration spent time not only studying the Supreme Court ruling, but also looking at how other municipal...
There was, I believe, 32 other communities or cities that were surveyed, and there was by far the most majority were landing on something similar to what we've done here today. I believe we satisfy the needs of everyone with that recommendation that we approved.
The new bylaw is to be confirmed at a future council meeting. Border City pet owners get ready to face new guidelines in the near future. The City of Lloydminster is preparing to implement a new domestic animal bylaw, updating the current rules that were implemented more than 2 decades ago. As Bart Padiasic reports, changes include the licensing of cats, which is a first in the city's history.
For the cat condo at the Lloydminster SPCA, accommodations are tight most days. A majority of these residents have been brought to the facility as strays.
We do get quite a lot, and the biggest thing with people is there isn't a lot of identification on their cats. So when a cat comes in, if there's no microchip or tattoo, it's really hard to be able to place it back to an owner.
At the moment, Lloydminster cat owners are not mandated to register their felines, but that is soon to change. This week, Council has approved for the first reading of the new domestic animal bylaw, a major upgrade to the original dog bylaw that was implemented in 1987.
Our mandate is to try and get our bylaws into current standards. There is an issue within our municipality of the amount of domestic animals that are running at large, and those include cats, and we do get a lot of complaints and calls on that.
As the proposed bylaw stands, all pet cats will not only have to be registered with the city, but have a collar with a tag on it when not at home. Limits are also being reworked. No residents will be allowed to have more than 3 domestic animals, whether they be dogs or cats. And if a dog is declared restricted or vicious, more restrictions will be placed, including keeping them muzzled when in a public place and forcing the owner to take out liability insurance. Now, that's just a small part of a long list of changes, something that city staff say they'll have to do their best to educate the public on.
Over the next month or so, we plan to communicate out to the community that the new bylaw is taken in effect, and educating them on what's in the new bylaw. Once it goes through second and third reading, then we'll be looking at enforcement from there.
We think it's wonderful. The bylaw was long overdue to be updated and current with animal welfare trends, and they have definitely addressed that.
The bylaw is expected to go through its final readings during a council meeting next month. Bart Pediasic, Newcap News.